Hi there, I have built an SSTO. I want to kind of discuss it. So this SSTO isn't your standard affair, as you can clearly see. I've spent a bit of time building some harder to use things because I think it's just kind of impressive. It's not that special, these are just the cargo units so you can store stuff here. There are all the basic sciences you'll need alongside a science lab. In here, there's the science lab. In here, underneath here, there's the ISIU. And basically, that's kind of it. There are some sequences I've designed here. When we click play on this thing, this will just slowly lift up and lock, then we can close it again. Yeah. But I want to discuss the SSTO, how it works, that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna just talk about the design first, and then we'll fly, because I think one of the most important things about the SSTO is the shape. I've had some people confused as to why I have designed my SSTOs with a big tail, and I'll explain that really quickly right now. Most of the SSTO's weight is somewhere here, meaning that most wings, because the center of lift should be a little bit behind the center of mass, is over here. What this means is that if I didn't have any big front lifting surfaces, the center of lift would be here, sure, and that's fine. However, the only lifting surfaces would be here, meaning that this part would basically be unsupported. Entering a spin would be really easy. So what is the solution? Well, we have to add a big wing at the front, like I did here. However, this means that the center of lift and, is now too far forwards. That's what this guy is for. And the big rear stabilizer helps, because it is also located well behind the center of thrust right over here, meaning that it sort of naturally drags the thing into a very stable sort of position, so it doesn't drift too much. If you're wondering why this is here, it's so that if I need to, I can retract this landing gear and use the steering function of the small landing gear, and then I can just extend the big landing gear back up in order to, do big landing gear things. So that is the idea behind the actual shape of it. And before we continue, I have to mention, why do I have this nose cone? There are the RTGs inside, the antenna, the control unit, and some of the SAS modules. Let's begin flight! Now, there are 4 phases to every single SSTO flight. We are right now in the first phase, that being the launch. Now, while it may seem kind of self-explanatory, it is a little bit more complicated. How many engines do we need on an SSTO? Well, I recommend getting enough nukes to where you have a TWR of around 0.3 in a vacuum on the launch pad. For these guys, it really depends. I aim at about a TWR of 0.7, 0.8. But really, there is only one single objective. 500 meters per second. Once we reach that, we will enter the second phase of our flight. Also, we are gonna fly off course and slam into that. I'm holding right as much as I can, trying to correct it. There we go, we're fine. Now that we've taken off, one thing which you should obviously immediately do is pitch up, and I can finally explain the madness. You see, the way these rapiers work alongside most of the atmospheric engines is because they have atmospheric fins and rotors in them. There are speeds where they're more comfortable and less comfortable. This obviously all depends on the speed of the air that's coming into them. That's why we use shock cone intakes, they're the fastest. And right now, as you can see, as we are accelerating, our thrust is going up to Mach 3.7. And at about 500 meters per second, we reach the point of no return. And if you know V1 and V2, when planes are taking off, you've probably seen that in like an aircraft investigation or something, 500 meters per second is V3. It is when we should start pitching up. How high up? We'll see. But as you can see here, we have gone from about 170 kilonewtons of thrust at the start to 300. Now we're about to hit 400. This is where the engines are really kicking into gear. Why are they only kicking in now? Because that's the speed their internals are optimized for. Kerbal Space Program itself is designed to sort of mirror how real-life engines work, and it obviously doesn't do it with exact accuracy, but it's close enough to where it makes for a dynamic and fun gaming experience, while still being realistic enough to where you still have to admit it's cool. Now, we are actually taking off. You know that TWR of 0.7, 0.8? Now it's 2.9, almost 3. Obviously, we don't want to overdo it, okay? We do not want to overdo it. That'd be stupid. But as this keeps on climbing, we have to keep on climbing. Because the next step, very clearly, space! Now, when you're trying to go into space, we are now in phase 2, and I have to show you the fact we don't have that much oxidizer on board. Actually, I think I'm carrying a little bit too much. The thing with oxidizer is, it doesn't really have that many uses. The only real ways to use oxidizer are in the third phase, and as an emergency kick-in with the close cycle, and for some maybe other minor service stuff, or refueling other vehicles in my case, with the grabber arm, I don't know. But generally speaking, you will not get that much use out of your oxidizer, so it's better to just not carry a full tank of it, or even better, replace it with liquid fuel if you can. I know some people use those fuel switch mods, which let you, like, for instance here, make it so it's all liquid fuel. You can do that. It's fine. Now, that's one thing, and that's fine. But there's also another thing we should talk about, and that is the fact these things kind of control like cams. Now, I've sort of helped myself by making the wing surfaces kind of all across the entire plane length. I'll be honest, I did kind of go for aesthetics first and functionality second, and it worked on the first try because of just latent experience, but it is what it is, you know. We are gonna reach phase 3 soon, and as you can see here already, thrust is going down. However, because we are still going up, as you can see here, on the top, and as you can see, our speed is still rising because even though we have less thrust, we also have less drag. That's why we're going faster. Also, as the altitude goes up, the rapiers will also produce less thrust because there's less air going into the engines, and no, adding more air intakes isn't going to help. This is where I should also mention that, yeah, you don't need one air intake per engine. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 16 air intakes, and as you can see, that's a lot more than 16 engines. I don't know what the correct ratio is for any of this. I just usually eyeball it to where it looks aesthetically pleasing. We are, however, soon going to reach the point where we should kick in other things. One of them, nukes. As you can see, the specific impulse is nearly at 800, and the thrust is nearly there, so it's gonna help us for a little bit. Ignore all of the heat warnings, we'll be fine. This is also why you shouldn't go at a very shallow angle. But yeah, now you can see one of the things you should keep in mind is our time to apoapsis. As long as it's not declining, we're gonna be fine. If it is declining, it's a matter of time before things start to go wrong. And, as you've seen, it went down a second. that means that we are approaching the apoapsis when we should really make sure that it goes far away from us. And since we are still approaching it, Phase 3 initiates. Phase 3 is hugely important because it is extremely short, meaning that the things you have to do in it have to be done really quickly. In this case, it is accelerating out of the middle part of the atmosphere as high and far away as we can go. How fast do I really need to go, you may be wondering? I don't know. It depends on the vehicle. Take a look at our fuel deposits, we'll see. I'll stop when we have about 5k left, in case I have to make some future adjustments, or whenever this hits above like 75. But yeah, one thing which you'll notice is because our ascent angle with the plane is really shallow, we are always going to have an ascent which is kind of suspiciously round. Okay, we have passed about the 5k that I wanted, so we can now turn this off and coast. As you can see, apoapsis still going up, and while liquid fuel is going down, we can speed time up, and slowly but surely, our time to apoapsis is indeed going up. What does this mean? Well, it means that if we have enough fuel, we are going to make it. So yeah, let's pitch down so we're facing prograde. And just enjoy the show. Let's speed up time warp a little bit more. And don't worry, the thing down there, the robotics part, isn't going to be flopping about. It may flop at a, like, insanely strong turn that could blow up your vehicle anyways, but I've locked it with such precision. I say precision because of how long it took me to figure the system out. But hey, it's not completely unusable, which raised my opinion on it. The reason why I moved these engines down is because now we can see the actual TWR of a system. Yeah, 0.3, as I said earlier. This is what you should aim. And then, yeah, it would seem that if we want a stable orbit, we should be burning really soon. Yeah. Do not be afraid to use the maneuver node. But yeah, just keep burning, it's fine. Actually, yeah. The issue is you can't really point down at the maneuver node, because that is gonna still affect your orbit because you're in the atmosphere. But it is what it is. Just keep burning. Come on. Of course, you know, if you're not flying with super strict fuel limits, like this clearly isn't, you can just kind of semi-eyeball it, like I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. We're nearly there. And... oops. Okay. I have to say the ray-marched volumetric clouds are really cool, though the way clouds work when you actually fly up feels really odd. Okay, now that I'm out of the atmosphere, the burn timer has returned a little bit further back. Wait, why is it... okay, whatever, just burn now. Did it lie to me? Hide it. Whatever, okay. So, yeah, now, after that phase was done, this is phase 4. After we stopped burning that, now we're in phase 4. I was gonna mention that, but I forgot. I just did it. After being lied to by the maneuver node, we're in space. See the periapses go up. 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, etc, etc, etc. We're nearly there. As you can see, we're nearly in space. We're gonna be in space when this goes over 70. See it? No. Or maybe because the camera was set to the wrong mode. Whatever. So now that we're in space, how do we figure out where you can go? Well, you have thrust, you have mass. How to get a TWR of some planet? Here's how. You multiply the thousands here, because these are kilonewtons, right? So these should be tons. So 223 tons times the gravity of a specific place. So 224, let's round up for the sake of sanity, times 9.81 for Kerbin, that gives us nearly 2.2 thousand. We can't land on Kerbin unless we use wings. So Minmus 224 times like 0.5, that's 112, we can land on it. And how do you check for gravity? Well, you hit tab. You can actually see here, yeah, gravity with G's, which does kind of suck, but yeah. Let's take a look at our pal, the moon. Sadly, it has only 1.6 G's, so what you have to do is you have to do 9.81 times 6606. Sorry, 981 times 0.16606. So yeah, we have a gravity of 1.62. So 1.62 times 224 means that, yeah, we should be able to land on it. And, you know, the issue is, I've already landed on Minmus with this exact same vessel, so I think it's only fair we try to land on the Mun. Oh, that's concerning. Video game? Fuck. Why? Okay, no, I know why it's doing this. I have to zoom out. It's, yeah, trying to load up all the textures. So, how do we go to the moon? Well, it's actually a lot simpler than you may think. In our case, it really is as simple as setting up a maneuver node on where we think the moon will be and going. I do really love how simple, cheap, and easy, like, Mun encounters are with Kerbin, as you can see here. I'm gonna try to get it, yeah. Sort of like, oh, actually, that would, crash me into the Mun, as you can see. So let's try to, loosely correct that? We seem to not be able to. That's fine, I'll fix it in post. Shit. Okay, oh. Okay, I shouldn't be doing this when I just have, this. Come on. Isn't this wonderful? Look what I can do. And there we go. Okay, so how to fly. Step 1. Aim to where you need to go. By the way, this is, I do recommend wasting, basically, okay, there are some things on which you will basically be wasting your weight. Number 1, wings. Number 2, the rapiers. But those are the price you pay for reusability. Have to carry it all with you. But one thing which you should definitely spend some weight budget on are some reaction wheels. Not only because nuclear engines have no gimbal, and nobody wants to be the guy who ends up crashing an SSTO because it can't turn fast enough, but it's just also generally nice to have a vehicle which is actually snappy and responsive, you know? It is truly one of the nice things in life. And you should enjoy it. Oh, yeah, by the way, something which I've noticed, I do really enjoy using Time Warp when burning in space. However, I have noticed, at least with vector engines and such, you know, really high gimbal at Time Warp can make the vehicle kinda wobble. This SSTO, not as much. But yeah, it is also kind of funny. Most of the time people love those kinds of, like, you know, cinematic burns, but I'm using visual mods and everything is pitch black. The only thing lit are the engines. Anyways, yeah, we're nearly there. By nearly there, I mean not even close, but, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, funny story. When I started playing this game, I wanted to basically, you know, I basically didn't really know how to play KSP when I started. I started in 0.21, blah blah, whatever. A lot of my early times were spent building cool planes that could barely take off. Or I know I did a lot of stuff with rovers because I just found it fun. But yeah, it took me a lot of time until I actually bothered doing some stuff. And this was, I guess you can call it a phase, but there really is a phase in every KSP player's, like, Kerbal career, where they go from playing, you know, hyper-modded, where they can kinda do stuff because a lot of the modded parts are OP, to just doing stuff in vanilla because vanilla is kind of cool. If you're wondering, I'm not lying. There, if you look at Minmus, there's is it visible currently? If I, yeah, see, there's something over there. But yeah, we are soon going to be done with the bird, and then I'll have to adjust it because I really don't want to crash into the moon. That would be bad. And a bug flew into me. Fuck's sake. Worryingly, I know what exact bug it is, and it's a stinky variety. I can tell by the awful fucking noises they make. Where is it? Oh, okay, actually. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. We'll find it. Then I'll stop. Can't fucking find it. Once upon a time, I didn't notice that it was on the floor. But, I didn't notice, and I accidentally rolled my office chair over the stink bug. It was a nightmare, let me tell you. Now, you may be wondering, how do you get rid of a stink bug without, dealing with the stink? Well, buddy, you grab it in, like, 5 paper towels. You sort of, you shouldn't maybe, no, don't even crush it, just hold it there. And then just immediately run to the bathroom and throw it into the toilet. Works every time. Please rotate. One beautiful thing about this game, which I feel like nobody ever talks about, is just how they made physics fun. How do you do that? Here's the question. Am I gonna be able to get a cinematic shot here? That's the big line. Oh! Oh! Because I get ejected. That's funny. Like the imposter ejected? Like the imposter in the hit internet social deduction game called Among Us? No. Thank God I don't have an editor, so they don't have to listen to this. Okay, we have to go down to about 10. That's the efficient part. Okay. Now, we face prograde, and I try to get a badass thumbnail shot again. Now, you may be wondering, what do I mean by a badass thumbnail shot? Well, you have to do this, and you have to point radial out. This way, we are facing away from the planet. And, sadly for me, the camera isn't being cooperative, so I'm gonna have to do this and just tilt it upside down in the editor. So I have to do like this. No, I have to make it look cool. Wait, I'm stupid. I can just switch to... Yeah, I could switch to a better camera, can't I? Yeah? No way. Oh, yeah. Yes! But then it kind of becomes shadowed. Maybe like this. Yeah! Wait. I have to pitch it up a little bit. Yeah, so the planet is completely... Yes! So yeah, that's the idea. You want to keep the planet, sort of in view. And, yeah, make it so the thing is facing away from it. Okay. Now that I'm done aura farming with the SSTO, we will do this. I have no clue where to land. I haven't looked at any spots. I know landing on the moon is boring, but it is what it is. Okay. And obviously, depressingly, I'm approaching, like always, on the dark side. That's always... Oh wait, I should cancel the physics time warp and use the normal time warp. Now, where's the moon? Where is it? Ah, you can see it over there. Maybe. Solar Flare is making it a... Yeah, this is running off of a hard drive. I'm so sorry. But does this game not look fucking incredible? Dark side of the moon? Ha, not anymore! Should really be... This is what I mean. I'm not gonna be able to turn around in time. Or maybe I will. Only thanks to the, like, 9 extra reaction wheels I shoved into the cargo bay where the robotics components are. Okay. Yeah, by the way, don't ask why I added this. I added this just to sort of... I promise it helps. Okay, let's turn around. Oh. Switch to the auto. Switch to the free cam. Shit. This is kind of wacky, but it is really cool. You know, just flying past the surface, blasting fire into the sky in order to slow yourself down. Do you have what it takes? Or are you going to go down like the rest of them? Who's the rest? I don't know. We're gonna have to be picking out our landing spot soon, though. And I don't really know where we should go. Do you have any ideas? Tell me down below. Ignore the fact that this video is... Yeah, okay. So... Huh. Let's land in the big crater. Where are we? We're over here. Point... No. point north. Now, why am I doing this? Well, it's actually really simple. I want to land in the big crater, which means I want to point north, so we land in the middle of it. And I can also do this. Come on. It's not like we're gonna run out of fuel, be real with me. Okay, there we go, that's nearly the middle. Okay. Now, we open this, we open the landing one. So I was confused as to why, ignore this one. I was, for a little bit too long, really confused as to why this wasn't shown. It's because none of it is applicable. Let's actually burn, and oh look, it shows up. Now, as you can see, the impact marker shouldn't be over there. You'll see why. But yeah, let's go in and let's try to land. So what you have to ensure is that the countdown is a little bit above the length. Because if it isn't, it's not... The reason why it's called that is because if you're incorrect, you crash and die. If you're correct, you get to live. And that's the whole idea. So we should actually burn a little bit right now, but not too much. Yeah, generally, you wanna speed up, because I am concerned that will I have enough fuel? Well, we'll find out soon. And this is what I'm going to try. As I mentioned earlier, having emergency fuel storage is important for a reason, and you'll soon find the reason in question. Because as you can see, we do have the TWR. It's just, not enough for what I'm trying to do, especially not when I've misaimed my landing zone by some. Also, why is there motion blur here? Isn't it? Can't tell. It's weird. Oh my god, what is that? Looks like the kind of stuff you get in a game once you become, like, blackout drunk, like in a GTA game or whatever. Okay. Let's do our best to slow down until we can kind of land over here. It's fine. And now we're, I didn't actually want to use all the oxidizer. Ah, that kind of ruins the hidden vector engine. Yeah, oops. Yeah, be careful. But yeah, you can see there's the little landing buddy. Oh. Okay, there's actually... Good. Now, you may be wondering, what is the Kerbal part of Kerbal Space Program? It's stuff like this. The length is going down... Oh no. Yeah, basically the issue is, I really do not want to crash land in the crater. So, yeah, sure, I guess that works. We're going back up. Just... come on, come on, come on. We should be facing, like, radio out. Okay. Alright, landing on the ridge between the two craters would be really cool, but I feel like it's gonna be kind of bumpy. Whatever, let's do it. Sure, why not? Now this is the fun part, because as you can see, the countdown begins now. Does it? I see. Now we're gonna be landing in that crater because I fucked myself. Also engage brakes for once we do land. As you can clearly tell, we have to finagle with this a little bit. Because we're moving in all sorts of directions that I do not want to move in. I'm stuck here doing this! He ate them! Or whatever. I don't know. I don't watch FNAF. I considered making a FNAF video, not because I care for the series, God no, but I don't want to be one of those, like, I like this property, ironically, but I'd never actually be into it. Nah, I find it mildly entertaining, and I find the theories mildly entertaining. The more crackpot, the better, in my opinion. But yeah, I considered making a video purely because it'd be funny to just, like, have a parody of the He Ate Them thumbnail. I don't know what I would put there. Because my sense of humor is very much built off of, like, things that are a little bit hard to describe. Yeah, by the way, this is how it's supposed to go. Not the fucking painful-ass thing you've seen. Oh god, I hope these aren't collidable. But yeah. Not all the painful stuff you've seen back there. No, it's this! Now the front vector, if I had any oxidizer left, would activate to slow down the fall, which isn't a big deal on Minmus, but is here. Okay. I did it. Oh god, I'm pulling back into the fucking crater. Whatever, this is why you should be careful when playing the character. Okay. Okay. I think, oh, the brakes? No, the brakes aren't holding me. I'm stuck on a bigger rock. Well, that's fine. Fine by me. Landing achieved. Okay, let's refuel the bastard and fly back to Kerbal. Do I even need to refuel? Maybe a bit. I want to get a bit of LF plus oxygen. Just extend, like, fucking... well, I don't know. I just need a little bit of oxidizer. So that I can, you know... take off. Okay. I got, like... yeah... I wanna get away from here as fast as I can. To stop this... to start some of the liquid fuel ones until we hit 30k. Yeah, that's gonna get us back home. I hope. Okay, retract. 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 Oh, by the way, I forgot to, I forgot to set this to an action group. So really quickly, I'm gonna toggle this. Cool. Okay. So how do you take off? Well, okay, here's the thing. Right now with our position, we want to basically, okay, when the moon goes, it goes in this direction, which means we have to fly off in that direction. That means since the sun, if we consider that we're facing this way, and this is like the South Pole, that's the sun over there. So we have to go that way. For me, so what I have to do first is, yeah. Okay. There we go. And we have to face 270. Come on. Okay, no. I have to... How do I... Okay. You know. Now we can close this. Dude, this thing is uncontrollable sometimes. Come on! Perfect. Okay. Now, speed up. Okay, we shouldn't be pointing down. Just keep pointing prograde, it's fine. Now we leave. And you'll soon see the problem of, when you're trying to go here, you'll be going really fucking fast. And so we'll only be skimming at like 60k. We don't want to... We basically... You know, don't want to overdo it. Oh, by the way, yeah. I have no clue how this is going to perform on a landing. That's why I'm going to make a quick save before I do that, so I can move fuel around. Because, as with most SSTOs, our weight has moved backwards. Now, I did a bit of testing with, some stuff. Not a lot of stuff, to be honest. But yeah, with the bit of testing I've done... it should be fine. But maybe I'll have to shift, like, the weight a little... Oh, that's too much. What if I hit N? It's fine, it's gonna make us lighter. It's okay. I said I wanted about 60. That's gonna do it. Okay. Come on. 61. Oh yeah, this is bad. 10. 180. Because I want to slow down mostly with the engine, so we'll be lighter. Okay. Lack of music is on this. We're not slowing down, though. Now, do we land at the KSC? Hopefully. But don't count on it. I just want to land at daytime more than I would want to land at the space center. Come on. I'm gonna quick save up here, because sometimes, you do want to do some grug stuff to ensure an easier landing, or like an easier re-entry. One thing which you can do if you want to do it is, you can burn, like, to lift this to 70, and then basically, you want to be going as slow as possible, so that you don't cook the vehicle too hard on re-entry. That's the general idea, the theory. Sounds for me, it seems to be going well enough, but not too well. Show trajectory, please. You gotta hide this because it makes some stuff look a little bit ugly, but you know. Okay, this is what I mean. So... this will predict that we're going to land quite far away. And, let's see how true that is. This will mean we'll have to, fly through the darkness, but hey, it's a fun experience for everyone, isn't it? Huh. We are, facing correctly. Let's hope this actually functions. And if we have to land in the water, that's fine. Come on. Nose up. Stand proud. You gone to the moon and back. Oh. Yeah, this is gonna be problematic if we have to crash land into the trees or whatever. But it's okay. Yeah. So, for now, we aren't in the danger zone. Okay. Let's, try to turn around. Am I maneuverable with this? Oh, with the help of RCS. Okay, there's another cloud layer. It's fine. We're higher up than I thought we were. Okay, crank up the deploy angle. We don't have... Oh, sorry, the authority limiter. Oh, we don't have that much time. Okay. Activate navigation. The Dragon wakes! Okay, we just have to make it back now. Preferably above the cloud layer, or below it. I'm fine with either or. So it comes the time for a mech jet. Actually, I don't even know if I can make it there. Wait, why am I flying so low? 270, hold, set, engage. Bank angle only 5 degrees so the plane doesn't explode. Why are you still banking back to 270? I guess. Yeah, that's the issue of the plane. Oh, we're not making it back. We're not making it back at all. You could land this. You could land this. This is the annoying part. It's just, kind of difficult. So, yeah. I'll be doing what I can. Which, I mean, moving all the fuel into the front. And, trying to see if I can coast. And also stop using monochrome, because it's far forwards enough to where it'll make it worse. I added too much lift in the front. Okay. Well. It's fine. Sort of. As long as I can land. Nah, we don't need to activate it. We know how far above the sea we are. So the landing is simple, right? Hitch up. And hope. Yeah, the issue is... Okay. So, I have to land this. Now, here's the fun part about landing these things. Because they have a lot of wings, you may remember from before, this thing kind of has a bunch of wings on it. Dead weight for taking off, sure, but we have to land. And landing is a lot tougher, as you can see. It seems, yeah, 90 meters per second is when we begin to stall. Pulsing the engines is installed. This is really too fast to ditch. Oof. Fuck. Okay. Well, we did it! Turn the engine off, it's fine. Hey! I mean, we aren't that far away. But yeah. We did it! Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I don't know if I'll even upload this. It's kind of a disaster video. Bye-bye!